What we did to get ready for the habeas motion, and you were correct in pointing out that the Menendez case is on 3 different tracks. The first is a habeas motion where they're trying to get a new trial. This wouldn't get them out. It would only get them a new trial, but the standards are very high to get a new trial. In fact, the same exact arguments that Mr. Geragos has brought up have been rejected by the trial judge, the California Court of Appeals, the California Supreme Court on direct appeal, the California Supreme Court on habeas appeal, then the U.S. District Court and the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals on habeas federal relief. So his arguments have been rejected literally every time they've been raised in 6 different courts. So what he's basically said is that he's got 2 new pieces of evidence, but those new pieces of evidence have to be subject to the rigid criteria of a habeas motion. They have to be timely, they have to be presented without substantial delay, they have to be admissible, and they have to be credible. And we went through each one of those factors to show that, for instance, the Eric Menendez to Andy Cano letter is supposedly sent in December of 1988. The problem with that, this undated photocopy of a letter, is that Eric Menendez testified for 7 days at his trial, a bit in graphic detail about the sexual abuse he experienced from his father. Andy Cano also testified in the first and the second trial. They said that the last time they had communicated about sexual abuse was 6 years before the 1989 murders in 1983. They were asked these questions many times, and they said the only time they had ever communicated was in 1983 when Andy Cano was 10 and Eric Menendez was 12 or 13. Voila, in 2023, we have a letter submitted, supposedly dated in 1988, that was never, ever mentioned during the trial. So that letter, we have great issues with its credibility. Again, because if it existed, it would have been used in the 1993 trial or certainly the 1995 trials. Certainly.
It's a very cogent argument you make. You're much better at this than I am, but I want to play devil's advocate on that for just a moment. As a mom of boys, and I'm a mom of teenage boys who cannot remember what they had for breakfast. And I think about Andy Cano at 14 years old writing that letter. And I've read the letter, and it's about a lot of things. In the middle, there's the issue of, and it's Eric writing the letter to Andy. In the middle of it, there's the mention, very nebulously so, no words saying sex abuse, but it's happening again, Andy. And then the letter went into our pile of teenage things in our room, only to be found many, many years later by his parents after he died. Isn't it a fair argument to make that a 14-year-old would probably have no idea that there was a communication about sex abuse in a letter that was buried in the middle somewhere and never referenced as sex abuse, and that no one would ever know about it till it was discovered by those parents? Isn't it fair to say that is possible with a teenage boy who wouldn't even have remembered it even when on the stand?
It's not fair because the letter was written by Eric Menendez when he was 18. And remember, they were looking for evidence to show that the sexual abuse had existed for years, from the ages for him from 6 to 18. So the best evidence they could come up with corroborating it occurred in a conversation that happened several times 6 years before the 1989 murders. Now, I will assure you, if Eric Menendez had written that letter in December of 1988, 9 months before the murders, he would have used that to show that the sexual abuse was being discussed well before the murders, 9 months before the murders, not 6 years before the murders. But more importantly, the issue of both the letter between Menendez and Cano and the Roy Rosello declaration. Remember, that's a declaration where Roy Rosello says he was sexually abused by Jose Menendez in the early 1980s. The problem is the Menendez brothers never knew that until the 2020s. So it could not have played part of their state of mind during the August 1989 murders. But both pieces of evidence go to the sexual abuse defense, but it was not the legal defense at trial. What I pointed out is that Geragos has contradicted Leslie Abrahamson when she said categorically that sexual abuse does not justify the killing. She said it never did and it never will, and that they would never make that argument. Voila, 30 years later, apparently Geragos forgot to actually consult with the prior counsel, who explained that sexual abuse is not the defense. It was always self-defense, the actual fear of imminent harm that their parents were going to kill them the night of August 20th, 1989. These two new pieces of evidence add nothing to the self-defense argument that they had. They are only additional information to the 7 days of testimony that Eric Menendez gave on sexual abuse, as well as the testimony that Andy Kano gave. So again, meet the rigorous standards to get a new trial of timely, admissible, credible evidence that would more likely than not change the outcome of the trial, these two pieces of evidence don't even come close.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.